The first article of today's session pertains to reservation. So there is a very long standing debate whether reservation should be applied to everyone irrespective of their income status or economic status, or it should be like categorized that no, everyone in that particular group, particular community does not require reservation. So ये दो debates हैं, दो categories हैं, दो levels हैं, like economic status, reservation based on economic status versus no, certain absolute coverage. So रिजर्वेशन कैसे प्रोवाइड करना है, बेस्ड ऑन इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस या पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटीज में एब्सोल्यूट कवरेज होना चाहिए. ये डिबेट, दिस डिबेट इज लॉन्ग स्टैंडिंग. अब उसमें एक छोटा सा डेवलपमेंट तो नहीं कहूँगा, इसमें इट इज़ लाइक छोटा सा एक न्यूज़ आया है. न्यूज़ इज लाइक द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज़ अपोज्ड income based creamy layer in SC/ST quotas. So first thing you should understand is creamy layer. तो creamy layer का concept ये कहता है कि like for example OBCs, it applies to only to other backward classes. OBC people have reservation benefits, reservation in educational and jobs, services. They have reservation, but all the people in the OBC category are not eligible for reservation. It is available only to a people who meet certain criteria. What is the criteria? Like suppose the income level of the family is, for example, take 8 lakhs per annum. So there is a income level. If the family is earning more than that, then they will not get reservation benefits. Only people earning less than that will be getting the reservation benefits. This is 8 lakh per annum is just an example. There are other criteria as well. So this is called creamy layer. The layer having the cream. इस creamy layer के ऊपर whosoever people are there, they will not get the reservation benefits. So the debate over here is that this creamy layer thing should apply to SC and ST quotas as well. Because presently, whosoever is having it belongs to a community which is recognized as SC or ST, they will get the benefits. Doesn't matter. There is no creamy layer concept in SC/ST reservations. So the people have been like arguing that this creamy layer should also apply to SC/ST quotas. In that context, the government has said that government has opposed this kind of income-based system for SC/ST quotas. Now, the question comes, why did the government oppose? And actually, this is the core, main important aspect of this entire article or this entire issue from your exam perspective. The first thing that government said, very important, is that the main objective of the reservation policy is to achieve social equality and justice, overcome historical disadvantage and discrimination, ensure economic empowerment, upliftment of marginalized communities, and promote their inclusive participation. It says that reservation is not meant to be not meant to be merely an economic empowerment. So the SC/ST communities have like faced historical discrimination, historical disadvantages, and they belong to marginalized communities. They are excluded from a lots of economic and social activities. So their inclusive participation is required, and all these things require that they climb up the social ladder. ऊंचा और आगे बढ़ना है उन्हें. They need to get accepted. Their activities, their community needs to get accepted among the broader social sector. That's why we cannot say that income based criteria अप्लाई कर देंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर इनकम बेस्ड अप्लाई कर देंगे तो इनकम बेस्ड से हो जाए कि certain people above this particular level will not get reservation benefits, but there are people above this level as well who are still getting discriminated. Doesn't matter कि आपका income level बढ़ गया, doesn't matter कि आपकी job अच्छी लग गई, you are having a government job, there are still certain areas जिसमें अभी भी even if the people are having good job, earning a lot decent amount of money, still they face discrimination at the hand of upper caste. ऐसा कहा जा रहा है. दिस इज द कोर आर्गुमेंट्स. सो वी कैन नॉट लाइक लिमिट SC/ST reservations to creamy layer. ये इनका फर्स्ट आर्गुमेंट है. सेकेंड आर्गुमेंट दे से दैट एनी मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी like introduction of income based preferences should be preceded by holistic review and empirical study including socio-economic data of reserved category benefits. बहुत अच्छी बात है. आप ऐसे ही आंख बंद करके कोई भी इनकम बेस्ड क्राइटेरिया इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकते. इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट बिफोर यू आर गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस एनी सच क्राइटेरिया देर शुड बी प्रॉपर स्टडी, प्रॉपर रिसर्च शुड हैपन, और बेस्ड ऑन द एम्पिरिकल डाटा, सोशियो इकोनॉमिक डाटा, बेस्ड ऑन दोज स्टडीज यू कैन रीच अ कंक्लूजन कि हमें इनकम बेस्ड देना है कि नहीं देना है, और अगर इनकम बेस्ड देना भी है तो किस लेवल पे देना है, किस अमाउंट, कितना इनकम रहे तो एक्सक्लूड किया जाए. मतलब ये अच्छे से देर शुड बी अ प्रॉपर थॉट प्रोसेस, शुड बी प्रॉपर रिसर्च before we take any decision. एक इसमें अच्छी बात ये भी कही गई है that third thing being highlighted here is in a majority of welfare and development schemes there is already a means test which ensure that benefits of schemes percolate to those who actually deserve them. So reservation benefits are mostly limited to educational institutes and services. किसी स्टडीज़ के लिए आपको एडमिशन लेना है किसी स्कूल कॉलेज में, या आपको कहीं जॉब चाहिए गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में, रिजर्वेशन के बेनिफिट्स अप्लाई ओनली टू दीज टू एरियाज, एजुकेशन एंड सर्विसेज, जॉब्स. Whenever there is any like accessing the benefits of any government schemes, merely belonging to the SC/ST is not sufficient. There are other criteria as well. This has been argued by the government कि बहुत सारी स्कीम्स ऐसे हैं जिसमें आपको अदर देन SC/ST होने के अलावा भी आपको अदर क्राइटेरियाज मीट करना होगा, then only you can get the benefit. But government has not given any supported, ऐसा कोई स्कीम नहीं दिया जो which can support this argument. But yes, this is also a very good point. एक बहुत अच्छी बात यहाँ पे है निकल के आती है. It is like the government must find a way to identify a creamy layer for SC/STs even if the criteria for this identification was different for the OBC. ये जजमेंट आया था, एक दविंदर सिंह केस था इन 2024 में, जिसमें एक जज थे BR गवई साहब ने, उन्होंने ऐसा बोला था. एक्चुअली this judgment had given sanction to continue with its policy of subcategorization of SC/ST quotas. This is actually important. सब कैटेगराइजेशन, आप क्रीमी लेयर नहीं लाना चाहते, सो नॉट क्रीमी लेयर इज जस्ट वन ऑफ द criteria to segregate whether to give reserve to which community should get the reservation. There is another criteria that is called subcategorization. This is a very good concept. Subcategorization means suppose there are 100 communities in this in SC, under the SC blanket. 100 communities are being called SC. But out of these 100 communities, not all the communities face the same level of discrimination, right? There are 10 communities which are like, even if they belong to SC, they have like moved up to the social ladder in such a way that they are not facing any kind of discrimination. There are 20 communities below this which are like at the middle level. There are 20 communities at the lower level who have like not even, those communities have not even tasted the benefits of reservation. They are still facing a lot of discrimination. They are still being confined to the manual jobs and like discriminatory abuses and all. So the categorization thing says, this theory says that you categorize the communities within the same category. जब आप categorize कर देंगे तो you will be able to find out कि किसको ज़्यादा benefits की requirement है reservation को, किसको कम requirement है और किसको ज़्यादा requirement है. So this subcategorization has been evolving and like the government has constituted a committee as well. अभी तक इस पे कोई decision नहीं आया है. This is still under process, but this is an important topic for you. Now we will move to our next topic. This topic relates to it is like periphery में अगर if you have any protected area, conservation sites, wetland sites. So how to protect it? So understand this way, you know the concepts like eco-sensitive zones. So recently what happened that Supreme Court gave the decision that one of its 2024 judgment, means Supreme Court has given a judgment in 2024 that mining can take place, approval is required before mining can take place within 10-kilometer radius of Asan wild wetland conservation reserve. So there is a wetland conservation reserve. It is called Asan wetland conservation reserve. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा इन 2024 कि ये जो वेटलैंड कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व है, इसका जो 10 किलोमीटर का जो रेडियस है, that should also be protected. This core area should be protected. That is so like non-negotiable. But this 10-kilometer radius around it should also be protected. If you want to conduct any mining activities or any development activities over here, prior approval is required. Okay. This Supreme Court said in February 2024 that prior approval is required for this area, this 10-kilometer radius area. Now, what happened is that it was particularly related to Asan wetland conservation reserve, not wildlife. It is a wetland conservation reserve. Matter again reached to Supreme Court because one of the states, Himachal Pradesh, this Asan is located in Uttarakhand, nearby at the border of Himachal Pradesh. Now this Himachal Pradesh reached Supreme Court again and said that this judgment applied only to this Asan and not to other wetland conservation reserves. Then the Supreme Court said that no, this applies to all wetland conservation reserves across the country. Why to limit it only to Assam? So the core issue, core argument, core debate over here is development activities around protected areas. This is the core issue, core debate over here. अब इसी में आते हैं ये wetland conservation 10 kilometer radius approval around wetland conservation reserve. You must have heard about eco-sensitive zones, right? A few days ago there was a news regarding eco-sensitive zones in the Western Ghats region. You must have heard about a news in which Supreme Court has created a periphery of a few kilometers around tiger reserves and like national parks, टाइगर रिजर्व के आगे भी एक रेडियस बना दिया गया कि उसमें डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज रेगुलेटेड होंगी, नॉट लाइक अनरेगुलेटेड नहीं होंगी. सो दिस इज द डिबेट दैट हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू regulate the development activities around protected areas, because if you remember our yesterday session, there we discussed the landscape based approach to conservation. It says landscape based approach to conservation says that you should not only focus on the core area, because you should be protecting the entire landscape. Because like if you are protecting only this national park or tiger reserve and you are taking high end economic activities, development activities just near to its periphery, then these economic unregulated activities will have negative impact on this protected area as well, in terms of pollution, in terms of air pollution, water pollution, in terms of noise pollution, in terms of like loss of habitat, in terms of loss of prey base. तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें इम्पैक्ट करती हैं. सो इट कॉल्स फॉर लैंडस्केप बेस्ड अप्रोच कि इसके सिर्फ वहीं तक लिमिटेड नहीं रहेंगे, उसके नियर बाई कुछ एरियाज को भी हम कंसीडर करेंगे. सो दिस इज द ओवरऑल कोर ऑफ दिस आर्टिकल. बाकी इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ था नहीं. वन इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट यू मस्ट रिमेंबर इज दैट आसान वेटलैंड कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व is a Ramsar site, is located in Uttarakhand. It is located at the confluence of Asan and Yamuna rivers. So this is an important fact for you. It is also an important habitat for migratory water birds and supports rich aquatic biodiversity. तो एक important सा fact आपके लिए यहाँ पे था. Otherwise, the core issue over here is that there should be regulation, there should be prior approval before you take up any development activities around the protected areas or conservation related high eco-sensitive areas. So heightened scrutiny of activities that could affect its ecological character. This is very much important. There is a body that came in the over here is that National Board of for Wildlife. आपको पता होगा this National Board of Wildlife. इसके बारे में भी it is like mentioned over here. Other than that, some current related, presently India has 101 Ramsar sites. The most recently added is the Glaw Lake in Arunachal Pradesh. It is the first Ramsar site of Arunachal Pradesh. तो इस तरह ये कुछ अच्छे अच्छे facts यहाँ पे दिए गए हैं, which you can obviously remember for your prelims perspective, for your prelims importance. But the core, if you think in terms of the core issue or core debate from the mains perspective, that is about how to protect the periphery regions of the protected areas. Now we'll move to our third article. Third article relates to art and culture. So this article is, there is a term that comes here. It is where it went, Veeragallu. Veeragallu, or you can pronounce Veeragallu. So Veeragallu is also called hero stone. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Hero stone. And it is installed in memory of a soldier who sacrificed his life. Usually क्या होता है Veeragallu? It is basically relates to in the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu region. And the first important fact from this article is that it gives a very good term for your history. Veeragallu is a hero stone. For example, suppose in a particular soldier belonging to a village in Karnataka, he died, he sacrificed his life for his king or for his kingdom. So to etch his memory in stone, a stone will be carved, his name or his other details and how he sacrificed and related things will be etched or inscripted on that stone, and it will be put in particular place. Such stones, if they are getting discovered, obviously they will lead to some new information, some new knowledge. So recently a Veeragallu was discovered in Karnataka near this village, this taluk of Karnataka. This is not important. You need not remember each and every village, but you should remember that this practice was prominent in the Karnataka Tamil Nadu region. This is important. So there is this region was under Hoysala dynasty. So the Hoysala is the prominent dynasty that ruled many parts of today's Karnataka and Tamil Nadu during 11th and 14th century. This is the second important fact. After this discovery of Veeragallu, the Hoysala dynasty comes in the news. So you should be preparing about Hoysala dynasty. What was Hoysala dynasty? Hoysala dynasty reigned around 11th to 14th century in the area encompassing or nearby areas of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. This is an important fact. So there has been a very well-known king belonging to this Hoysala dynasty is Vishnuvardhan. UPSC may ask you direct questions. It keeps asking it asks like to identify which of the following personalities have been described in the following lines, following statements. So Vishnuvardhan was a very prominent ruler of Hoysala dynasty. It is being said when he died is a kind of debatable. Some scholars say that he died in 1152, others say that he died in 1149. It is debatable. This Veeragallu that got discovered, it talks about a soldier who sacrificed his life after Vishnuvardhana's death at Bankapura. So when Vishnuvardhana died, after his death, this soldier, whosoever soldier he is, his soldier sacrificed his life after Vishnuvardhan death. And this Veeragallu mentions a date which is roughly connected to December 1141. So that means Vishnuvardhan must have died after this date. So this is certain a kind of, you can say कि boundary line बताता है, which like Vishnuvardhan died before this date, because this soldier had died after Vishnuvardhan's death. This has been as per that Kannada inscription. It is also mentioned over here that the inscription is in Kannada. Now this is a significant inscription and Karnataka, so this is Kannada inscription. Here it is Kannada inscription at the start itself. So Vishnuvardhan must have died before 1141. If this comes out to be true, then whatever debate we are having prevalent these days, both will stand negated. So what is important in this article? A very good term, Veeragallu. What is Veeragallu? Where it is found? Which dynasty more or less it is related to? Who was Vishnuvardhana and who were Hoysalas? So these were the three basic articles from today's The Hindu.